Hi, this is Jesper, and I make videos on YouTube for those who like to challenge mindset and make a difference in the workplace. In previous videos, I explained using existing frameworks, models, and techniques. But today, I'm going to talk about my thought leadership and something that greatly interests me, which is scale, and more specifically, how to create scale in a business. Scale is like teenage sex. Everyone talks about it, but not everyone is doing it. But it's not for lack of trying. In 2020, IDC estimated that $9 trillion would be invested between 2020 and 2022 in global digital transformation. It is a staggering amount and about half of the entire US economy. Yet at the same time, McKinsey research in 2019 shows that only 16% of transformation projects are successful. So while everyone is talking about it, and many are trying to do it, few are successful. Where do things go wrong? My observation is that scale is a word that is often used but not understood. And because it's not understood, organizations take the wrong approach and invest in the wrong thing. This lack of understanding is because digital scale is unlike anything we have experienced in the past. And by approaching it with what we knew to work in the past, it is guaranteed to fail. To complicate it further, it is not just a question of doing something different. We also need to think different. Understanding digital scale requires a mindset shift, actually 2 mindset shifts, which I will unpack in 3 steps. The first step is to come to shared understanding and definition of what scale means and what makes it different to traditional growth. The second step is to understand how it works. And the third step, knowing this, we can develop a framework and method for using it. Economic theory provides a good starting point. Economists talk about marginal cost, where the marginal cost is the cost of adding one more unit. The lower the marginal cost, the greater the scale. Scale originates as a concept in the fiscal world using the term economies of scale, which typically refers to optimizing the use and efficiency of physical infrastructure and assets, therefore reducing fixed costs. For example, a factory producing a brand of baked beans during the day, taking on the production of a non-brand of baked beans during the night, using the same infrastructure and assets. Because no additional fixed assets are needed, the only variable are, pun intended, variable costs such as labor, electricity, raw materials, etc. Digital scale addresses variable and fixed costs, potentially enabling growth at near zero cost. For example, in an entirely digitized onboarding process, the cost of onboarding a new member will be close to zero. A practical example would be to sign up and onboard a new Uber driver, or sign up to Airbnb and offer up holiday accommodation. For Uber, the cost of signing up a new driver and for Airbnb to sign up a new accommodation provider are close to zero. I have developed a model that explains how scale works by reducing it to 3 fundamental drivers. The first driver, not surprisingly, is the ability to automate. Automation in this context is a process that runs without human intervention. When we design for the digital world, we start with a fully automated process and then design human interaction into the automated process where it makes sense. For example, introducing human touch points into an automated sales process. In the analog world, we do the opposite. We start with a partially automated process and remove human intervention to increase automation. For example, by automating touch points in the sales process where human intervention adds no value. Put simply, We cannot create scale if we start with a process designed for the physical and analog world. We can only create scale if we reimagine and redesign the process from the ground up to be fully automated. The first mindset shift is to understand that in the digital world, we design human intervention into the process to slow it down, whereas in the analog world, we remove human intervention to speed it up. The second driver is the ability to change. Automation works great until something changes. Then automation stops until we have made the change and it can be restarted. With increasing change, automation increasingly starts and stops. So the faster we can change, the faster we can repeat automation and the greater the scale. The third driver is the ability to decide. The ability to change works great until there are several non-routine options. The ability to change loses meaning if we take a long time to decide what to change. The faster we make decisions, the faster we can adapt and maintain automation, and the greater the scale. Let's put it together before continuing. The ability to automate creates speed and unlocks a base level of scale. The ability to change creates repeatability and unlocks the next level of scale. The ability to make decisions creates agility and adaptability and unlocks the final level of scale. These are the drivers of scale, but there's a piece missing: the engine. What creates digital scale? Let's take a step back and ask a seemingly silly question. What is digital? If we reduce digital into its most basic form, we get two atomic building blocks, zeros and ones. Anything and everything digital reduces into zeros and ones. Zeros and ones are data, nothing more, nothing less. Everything in the digital world is made of data and only data. So the engine of scale must be data, and its fuel is quality data. Although we automate processes, a process is never better than its underlying data. Automation is infinitely easier with good quality data. The ability to change also depends on quality data, specifically quality master and reference data. Later in this video, I refer to a case study where the use of quality reference data achieves near instantaneous ability to change. The ability to make decisions is also driven by data, incorporating data-driven insights into the decision-making process, speeding it up, and removing personal bias and agendas. Understanding the role of data in creating digital scale is a second mindset shift. Any digital initiative that doesn't put data first or in the center can never achieve its full potential scale. When I was a young consultant, one of my partners, a global head of our strategy practice, shared a piece of wisdom that has since stuck with me. He said that all strategies look good on PowerPoint. And this concept can be expanded to cover all frameworks, strategies, and models, including the one I'm presenting in this video. Putting data in the middle of the drivers of scale looks good, even cool. But what do we do with it? How do we actually use it to shift our bottom line in a meaningful way? There are probably several ways to achieve this, and I will share the two approaches that have worked for me. They each create some scale when done in isolation, but create magic when they come together. The first approach, or step, is to identify a process to reimagine for scale. I recommend picking a process where improvements make a real difference, can be measured, and directly impact the bottom line without putting the existence of a business at risk. I previously recorded a case study video where I transformed a global process and reduced headcount from 38 to 13, creating a scale factor of 2.9x while increasing customer conversion and satisfaction. The case study demonstrates the power of designing a fully automated process and then introducing human intervention where it makes sense. I put a link in the video description. The second approach, or step, is to ensure ongoing and consistent data quality through data governance. The case study I shared was supported by creating a data governance capability to manage the reference data used to drive process automation. In my experience, the establishment of data governance works best when it is aligned to support a specific and measurable initiative or project. If you would like to see a video on data governance, please let me know in the comment section below the video. Let's summarize the key takeouts from this video. Digital scale is growth at near zero marginal cost. Unlike the growth we are used to, digital scale is different, both in nature and approach, and requires new thinking and new doing. Digital scale has three drivers: the ability to automate, rapidly change, and make rapid and data-driven decisions. The engine of digital scale is data, and the fuel is quality data. The ability to scale is proportional to data quality. Start scaling by reimagining a meaningful and measurable process without putting the business at risk. And finally, support the reimagined process with a data governance capability to ensure consistent data quality. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care until then.